Welcome to the Digital Marketing Media Podcast, the show where we break down how home service businesses, contractors, and local operators build predictable demand, dominate their local markets, and scale without relying on hope, referrals, or the busy seasons, right? As many industries are get. So today's episode is called The New Job Flow Engine. And what we're really talking about is this. How do you build a consistent, controllable flow of high value jobs? Not just one off service calls, right? Not price shoppers or slow months followed by chaos. So if you've ever felt like some months you're slammed, other months you're wondering where the phone went, or your business depends way too much on word of mouth, this episode is going to change how you think about marketing, operations, and conversions as one connected system. This isn't about hacks. It's not about chasing the latest platform either. It's about building a job flow engine that runs whether referrals show up or not. All right, so let's dive in. The first part, we're going to be talking about how we attract high value jobs. Okay, so let's just begin with the foundation. What's high value jobs? We're talking about roof replacements, full artificial grass installations, remodels, system replacements, large projects, right? They don't just magically fall out of the sky. They all start the same way, online. And more specifically, they start on Google, right? So these aren't homeowners asking, hey, do you work with my warranty company? These are people searching things like artificial grass installer near me, roof replacement cost in Orlando, best HVAC company near me, kitchen remodel contractor in Tampa, things like that. And here's the key. These searches, more than just regular, come with an intent, right? These people aren't browsing. They're deciding. So that's why predictable job flow doesn't come from hope and referrals trickle in. It comes from owning visibility where high intent decisions are already happening. So there are three channels that drive predictable job volume, right? When it comes to this, there are three channels that consistently will drive high value work if you're doing right. Not 10, not 20, only three. All right. The first one is, the first one are paid ads. Paid ads are the fastest path to booked estimates, right? So let's start with paid ads because this is the fastest lever. Google ads and local service ads allow you to show up at the exact moment a homeowner is searching for what you offer. Think about that. Someone types in roof replacement near me and your company appears at the top of the page. That's not branding, that's demand capture. This is why paid ads are often the quickest way to fill estimate calendars, launch a new service, smooth out slow seasons, create immediate momentum. Now, here's where most contractors get it wrong. They run ads and send people to a generic homepage. That doesn't work. High value buyers need a specific message, specific service, and a clear next step. So paid ads work best when traffic goes to intent-matched landing pages designed specifically to book estimates, not explain your entire company history, right? The second option is SEO and local search. This is the long-term foundation and long-term game. All right. So SEO and local search. This is the long game, but it's the most defensible asset that a business can build. When your company ranks organically for roof replacement in Miami, artificial grass installer in Atlanta, HVAC installation contractor in Nashville, you're showing up without paying per click. So that's leverage, right? Local SEO in particular, your Google business profile, reviews, proximity, authority plays a massive role in those. That includes trust, click-through rate, confidence before the homeowner ever calls. So here's the mindset shift. Paid ads give you speed, SEO gives you the stability. So the companies that scale sustainably will do both. You don't pick one and then just simply ignore the other. Okay. Now, the third channel is probably the most underestimated and underrated. This is short form video. This helps to build trust at scale. And no, this isn't about dancing on TikTok or becoming an influencer or things like that. This is about trust acceleration. When a homeowner sees your face, your voice, your confidence explaining the job, your process, your standards, they feel like they already know you. So by the time they click your ad, visit your site, request an estimate, they're already pre-sold, right? Video replaces years of referrals with a couple of minutes of exposure. And one good video can be used across so many platforms, such as Google Ads, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, your website. So it helps as a whole. All right. So the big idea when we're talking here about part one is that high value buyers don't need convincing. What they do need is visibility. So if you're not showing up on Google, on local search, in local search, with trust building content, someone else is getting those jobs. Predictable growth isn't luck. It's presence where decisions are made. And once you control that visibility, everything downstream gets easier. Now, here's the problem. Just because someone finds you doesn't mean they're the right customer, right? Which brings us to pre-qualification, where predictability is actually built. All right. This is the step most home service businesses actually skip. So, and this is why you probably hear things like paid ads don't work for us. We get leads, but they ghost. We're running too many bad estimates. It's not a traffic problem. It's a filtering problem, right? A predictable job flow engine does not treat every lead exactly the same. It filters before the estimate ever happens. So without pre-qualifications, you will find your office chasing bad leads, sales reps walking into homes that are blind. Not that they're blind, but they're walking in blindly, right? Their closing becomes emotional, right? As marketing feels just expensive instead of profitable because you have to work so hard for each deal. All right. So pre-qualification flips that. By the time somebody books an estimate, they understand the service. They know it's an investment and they're mentally prepared to move forward. That's the difference between lead volume and lead quality. All right. So there's a couple of tools that simply can do this filtering for you. So pre-qualification doesn't have to be that complicated. All right. So the simple tools that work best could be short intake forms, smart questionnaires, pre-estimate service. So these kind of tools do a couple of things. One, you filter out tire kickers. So at the end of the day, not everyone is ready for a 10K, 20K, 50K project, right? And that's okay. But your system should identify price shoppers, just looking homeowners, and people that are not ready to invest at the time. So filtering will save your team time and energy. Okay? Now, another thing it does, it identifies serious buyers early. So serious buyers don't mind answering a couple of thoughtful questions. They actually expect it. So questions that could simply be like, what problem are you trying to solve? How long have you been considering this? Are you exploring financial options? These don't scare away ideal customers. They attract them. All right. So, and the third thing is that they walk into an estimate prepared. So imagine showing up to an estimate with those tools. What I mean, going back to the tools, what does it do? So it helps you to imagine showing up at it already knowing the estimate and being more prepared. So you already know why they're reached out to you, why they're unhappy with, the urgency level, their overall expectations. Okay. So now the estimate is more of a conversation instead of just a pitch. Okay. So one financing question alone can change everything. Are you open to monthly payment options if needed? That question sets expectations, removes sticker shock, improves show up rates, improves close rates. Because buyers who answer yes have already committed mentally anyway. Okay? So the big takeaway here from part 2 we're talking about is that estimates estimates should and need to be earned, not just handed out. So pre-qualify. Do yourself and your contract and business the favor. It makes marketing cheaper. Your team will be less stressed. The close rates will go up. All right. So, and overall, it just makes the revenue become more predictable, right? And once the right people are booking, speed becomes everything. Now, as we go then into the third part, we're going to be discussing about the conversion and the follow-up sequence. Okay. So this is where most contractors or most contractor marketing underperform. They don't just underperform, it breaks. Most companies don't have a lead problem. They have a speed problem. Yeah, you guys ever heard of the saying speed to lead, right? The first 5 minutes matter. The first 5 minutes after a lead comes in are the absolutely most critical, okay? Not 5 hours, not tomorrow, not 5 minutes, all right? So, no, 5 minutes, not tomorrow, not anything more, all right? So, because that homeowner at that time is still on the phone, still comparing options, still emotionally engaged into the process, all right? You wait too long and you're gone, all right? So what we recommend is text first, then you call. The reason you text first is because it's non-invasive. The success rate of getting open is much greater, and it starts a conversation. Okay, something simply as, hey, this is Juan Carlos from the digital marketing media. Well, Bob's Roofing. You just requested an estimate. Is now a good time to talk? Once they respond, then you call. Now you're not a stranger anymore, right? And that changes the conversation. So, and then once the conversation begins, that's where it's important to make sure that you have a script. Scripts make an absolute difference. They don't make you robotic. They make you consistent, okay? Without a script, everyone is going to be saying something different. Objections get mishandled, and the overall confidence drops. So scripts remove guesswork, okay? Now, this is where the system kicks in because you want to be doing automated follow-ups for 72 hours. Most jobs are not going to close on the first touch. All right. A predictable system follows up for at least 72 hours using various things such as text, reminders, value messages, appointment confirmations. So automation doesn't replace your team, though. It's just another way to support them. Okay. So the key here is remember that speed plus consistency will win. Okay. Respond fast, text first, call second, follow up relentlessly. That alone changes results. Okay. All right. Beautiful. So, and now as we get into part 4, where we discuss the process of the presentation, the estimate, and the closing. Boom. The moment of truth, right? The estimate is the moment of truth. Everything that you've done thus far leads to here. Okay. And the closing isn't about pressure. It's about clarity. All right. So while words aren't always enough, homeowners don't want to be sold, right? They want to see it. So if you have visuals, that can change everything. Recommend doing things like renderings. If you have before and after photos, clear scope breakdowns, right? So that seeing it, visualizing it helps to replace the doubt. Okay. So have yourself a step-by-step process in order to do this. The complex projects kill confidence. Clear steps build it. Step 1, Step two, step three, simple will win. Okay. Um, Now, another thing that we always recommend that can help the business is having financing systems set up. High value buyers, high value buyers expect options, right? So when you present financing early, the fear drops, the objections shrink, and yes, it just actually makes it feel more tangible and achievable. All right. So, um, so at the end, when we're talking about closing, remember that it should not depend on personality. It should depend on the process. The same flow, the same visuals, the same structure, right? All right. Now, as we dip in to the end, we talked about the lifetime value and what do you do? Things like the retention and the reactivation of a client or a lead, right? Typically, your most profitable jobs are often already in your database. You have past estimates, past invoice, existing clients, pause projects. Maybe you've had some leads that are the not currently right now, we're not ready. Maybe they're doing other things such as um, building the pool, which is then followed by the pavers, which is then followed by the landscaping, and then they're going to paint the house, and then they want to do the artificial grass at the end, right? So they didn't say no, they just said not yet. All right. So always keep in mind that reactivation is can be an easy win. So make sure you do your follow ups. Make sure you do your education. You're doing case examples. Always remind your clients or existing clients that financing that you offer them, and and remind them of that, right? So remember that presence will always beat the pressure. So stay on top. And again, the average sale takes a couple of goes, a couple of hits. Okay. Now, the last part that maybe a lot of people overlook is the power of referrals. So we need to be doing referrals, need to be done by design. Referrals don't just happen accidentally, right? You ask it at the proper moment. Once is asked for, then you facilitate the process, right? So you make it easy, um, and reward appropriately, right? For their time, for their kindness, and for just taking the time, right? So, like this, you could turn one happy customer can turn into five. Okay. So, um, basically, this in any business, any contractor, you got to have you have your system, the sales system, and that's how you maximize every lead, and your overall marketing just becomes that much easier. Okay, so that's that what we call it at Digital Marketing Media. Our proprietary system is called the Demand Precision Matrix, 5 pillar system that maps, attracts, and converts. And not just that, but retargets and brings them back for the long term, right? So a new job flow engine such as that is not about tactics, it's not about trends. It's just having a system. When every piece that you have works together, the growth itself stops feeling random, right? And it starts just becoming intentional. So, as recommended, anybody, if you guys want any help building this for your business, that's exactly what we do here at the Digital Marketing Media. All right. So thanks everybody for listening. Thanks everybody for taking your time out of your important day to listen to what we have going here, and give us some love, and we'll see you in the next episode. All right. Have a good one. Bye.